So obviously we need a backend. Now, creating a backend, that is something you could take an entire course on, because for writing server-side code, for writing code that runs on a server, and for connecting a database to that code, there are dedicated programming languages like Node.js or PHP. And you can, for example, take my Node.js course if you want to learn all about that. This course focuses on Vue, and therefore I want to keep that focus. So we're not going to write our own server-side code here. Instead, we're going to use Firebase, which is a service that gives us a backend where we don't have to write any code to get started with storing data. I will emphasize, though, that this is not just a database which we're using, it's a complete backend service. It is like if you had your own server with your own logic on it, just in this case, already pre-written and pre-configured for you. The good thing about Firebase, which is a service offered by Google, is that you can get started for free with it. You can start for free, and what we're going to do here is possible for free. And that's why I'm using this service. All you need for this service is a Google account. So make sure you create one and then log in here into that console, into the Firebase console. Once you are logged in and in this Firebase console, you can add a new project and give it any name of your choice. I'll name it Vue HTTP Demo, but this name is up to you. Click Continue. You can disable this, you don't need that here, the analytics, and then create this project. Now, Firebase is a service that has way more to offer than what we are going to use. Nonetheless, it has all we need here to have a dummy backend, and that's why we are going to be using it. We're also going to use this Firebase service in a way that is typical for communicating with a backend, so that what you learn here will also apply to any other backend you might be using. That's another reason why I chose Firebase. So now we're in the Firebase console, and here we want to go to Database, because we're going to use the database part of the Firebase service. It's just one of the offerings they have, but here we need a database. And we're not going to use the Cloud Firestore here, but instead this real-time database. It's a bit easier to use, and it has a nice REST API, which is a specific interface we can use for sending our HTTP requests to it. It's very easy to use and therefore a great choice here. So let's create such a real-time database and make sure you start in test mode. Click Enable. And here we go. Now, you should see something like this on the screen, and for the moment, that is all we need. Now let's leave it at that, and let's go back to our Vue app. And here we are now going to see how we can send HTTP requests to this Firebase backend and how we're not going to do it.